Hey everybody, it's Stephen Barney and I hope you're all well. As you can see, I'm not coming to you from some random Scottish road on my motorbike or a very wet, cold castle, but from our living room in the house here in Scotland. And guys, the weather's really turned, it's getting quite cold, and this is why I've got the hat on. I think I'm going to have to turn the heating up and put the fire on very soon because it's getting pretty cold. But the reason I'm coming on to do this video is because that surgery that I've been waiting for over a year is now 2 weeks away. And I've been thinking about this a lot and praying about this a lot. And I thought, you know something, it'd be a really cool idea to do like a video diary of the run up to the experience itself, surgery, the hospital, and the rehabilitation afterwards, as a kind of like a support for those that might be going through the same thing. And as some of you might know, I'm a Christian pastor, and you've kind of got it ingrained into you. It's kind of what you are, that you want to use all the tools you have in your toolbox to help someone in some way. It doesn't matter if it's 100 people or 2 people, it makes absolutely no difference. And if these diary videos help and make it a lot easier for you to go through something like this, then boy, I'd be absolutely delighted. The second reason is a lot of you guys might never experience something like this in your lives, ever. But you could pretty much guarantee that one of your friends, or your family members, someone close to you will go through something like this. And of course, during those times, I'm very blessed to have a big family and close friends. But it's very important to have those people around you at that time. And you know, if I can sort of better equip you guys to, you know, just give you some hints and tips on how to sort of really bring them up and keep them supported, then again, I would be so delighted. And the third part is, it's like I said, I've been off now for, well, I've been off for almost 18 months now. And over that period, I've met so many amazing people. Seriously, I'm not just saying that. Some amazing people online, and met some great friends and got connected with some amazing ministries and pastors and churches, and it's just been a tremendous experience online. But there's been many, and even guys that we know now, who are giving us such a support with prayer, sending us lots of personal messages, and I kind of feel within myself that I want you guys to be that little bit more connected to what I'm going to be going through. And because I know at that time there'll be good times, there'll be bad. And I think you're sitting here watching me just now being all chirpy and smiling. I'll just wait and see how it all goes. But I just feel, you guys, that it would be so great for you guys to sort of come along on that journey with us. And like I said, if it helps you, if you're stuck at home, if it helps you help a friend, then I would be so, so delighted. So just to finish off this little intro to the diary videos, I thought, well, I'd better wait till the kids actually went off to bed for this part, because some of you'll know exactly what we've been through, and others of you might not. So I thought I'd just share with you, I mean, as briefly as I can. It's such a complicated drama, so I'll try and be as brief as I can. But basically, back in January 2017, I'd went to the doctor because this sort of small hernia was starting to appear right beside my stoma, my colostomy bag area down here on my abdomen from surgery years ago, which I'll share at a sort of later time. But this hernia was pressing against my intestines and obviously backing everything up, and I was dizzy and nauseated and felt sick, and it was really quite difficult. But quite typically as a Scotsman, I just kept on working through it. And so that was about the January 2017. By June, I was just at the end. That was it. I mean, I physically just couldn't do much at all, and I was so sick and dizzy that the only way I felt good was to actually just lie down. So obviously I would have to go in for surgery, and there was a great backlog. There still is at our hospital, a great backlog in surgery, so I had to wait until November 2017 to get this hernia fixed. Us thinking that was the end of the chapter, it was actually only the beginning. So they went in for the hernia surgery, they'd done it, I had about a 6-inch wound, but I'd woken up and I felt good and sore and stiff, of course, but felt good. I was at the stage I put my clothes on, ready to go home. But then we noticed what looked like bruising. You might have seen it some of you might have seen it in previous photos on social media, but what appeared like bruising round about that the scar area. And I started to feel very sick, and I started to go downhill very quick. The next thing, this began to spread, and it started spreading again. Hopefully you've seen the photos on social media, but it was spreading right the way up to my armpit. And unbeknown to me at the time, and unbeknown to the surgical team, they'd actually nicked the bowel while they were inside and closed me back up again. And that bruising wasn't bruising, it was actually you know what. So what happened was I did go very septic. My body started shutting down, and they had to rush me in for emergency surgery. And at one stage I was circling the drain. It was like almost lights out time. But when I woke up, I was completely delirious. I had this massive raging infection, and for about the next 2 or 3 days, I can't even remember those days, to be perfectly honest with you. All the nurses had kind of said was that all you kept saying, Stephen, was, don't let David and Emily see me, don't let David and Emily see me, which they obviously didn't. So anyway, they sent me off packing home with this really just awful looking infected scar. And I came home, and thankfully one of our good friends who used to actually live down the road was on maternity leave. She was a staff nurse, and she was brilliant. She came up each day and checked the wound and cleaned it and all sorts of stuff. But after about 3 or 4 days, she had that educated eye, and she says, no, look, this wound is looking really terrible. We need to go to the emergency room, because there was fluid leaking out and everything. So when we went up, we met this young surgeon called Daniel, and he said, you know, that's feces coming out of your wound. I said, you've got to be joking. He says, no, I'm not joking, it's feces. So back into hospital yet again. And I don't know if you guys have heard of gentamicin, but it's the bleach of the antibiotic world. And they started pumping that into me for about 2 or 3 days, I think. And I'm not kidding you guys, it's just like a little plastic thing like that, and put it in your arm. It goes in within 10 minutes and that's it, but instantly you just sweat from every pore of your body and you feel so sick. And once it's passed, it's fine. But I had to get this regularly over that few days. So over that sort of period of time, the wound had actually started opening up even more to what it was now was a 6-inch gash in my belly with this little hole in the middle. So I had feces coming out of my stoma and the wound itself. Absolutely unreal. But when they sent me home, man, again, my mate Jamie came up and kept the wound clean. And I'm not kidding you guys, it was an open wound with feces coming out, but she kept it so clean and helped me keep it so clean. I never got an infection at all. So after this, one of those days, we went away up to the doctor. Jamie came with us, and she'd kind of said, I was kind of quite out of it. I was quite altered at the time, but she said, you know, what actually happened? And they said, well, we did nick his bowel, and we went back in to try and fix it. We stitched the part up on his bowel and left a fistula, what they call a fistula, just in case the stitches didn't hold, and the stitches didn't hold. So basically, after that pretty horrific experience, we thought we'd give it 3 or 4 months to see if the bowel would actually heal on its own. And over that period of time, the wound did close at times, and other times it would open back up again, and all sorts. We thought surgery was going to be before summer, and then it was going to be after summer. Now it's November this year, which is obviously just 2 weeks away. But that whole experience was hugely traumatic. My brother had went in for a hernia surgery 4 weeks before me, fine. My uncle, 2 weeks before, then me, bang, I got the bad one. So it was a pretty horrific experience at the time. This year's not been so bad, but obviously I've had to wait quite some time for the surgery, and that surgery is now on November. And it's from here till then I'm going to keep going with this diary cam and let you guys sort of experience what I'm going to experience sort of thing in the next few weeks.